Need to say anything. You know, the people who understand the greatness of it and, you know, have their own life, that what happened.
Jake Paul just dropped a bombshell about his Netflix fight with Mike Tyson. And this isn't your typical post-fight drama. Even though the fight took place over a month ago, Jake clearly hasn't moved on. Sponsors are distancing themselves, fans are skeptical, and his reputation is on the line. So what does he do? He hops on Logan Paul's podcast, slaps on a dramatic coming clean title, and spills some wild tea. Jake claims Tyson was the mastermind behind the entire shady situation. It's not just a fight, it's a mess Jake's trying to clean up, but the damage is done.
But I do have to be careful in the early rounds.
If Mike Tyson has $400 million in the bank while Jake Paul only has $30 million pre-fight, why would Tyson bother boxing a YouTuber for fame or clout? It seems unlikely he needs the exposure. So what's the real story behind Tyson's decision to step into the ring with Jake? There's more to it than meets the eye.
Man, when you were in there.
I don't remember it.
You didn't even remember.
Mike Tyson recently discussed Jake Paul's fight on his podcast with Logan, warning listeners not to jump to conclusions. He pointed out that people often criticize Jake for looking good on the pads, but not performing the same way in the actual fight. Tyson stressed that it's easy to judge when no one is punching back. Jake Paul, he noted, knew exactly what he was getting into by agreeing to fight a boxing legend. Tyson shared that Jake had no illusions about the public's reaction, understanding that people would likely hate him no matter what. In fact, Jake embraced the criticism, turning it into a key part of his strategy. According to Tyson, the fight wasn't about who would win or lose, it was about creating a spectacle, with a YouTuber stepping into the ring against one of boxing's most iconic figures.
Like, oh, it's rigged because look at him on the pads, but he didn't do this in the fight. Because someone is fucking punching back, you dumb fucks.
Jake Paul expertly leaned into the role of the villain, fully embracing the controversy for all it was worth. His antics weren't just for attention, they were a deliberate strategy to rack up clicks, and clicks equal money. If controversy were an Olympic event, the Paul brothers would be gold medalists. Then, Logan dropped the bombshell question: was the fight rigged? Jake didn't outright deny it. Instead, he smirked and responded with a loaded line: rigged fights are for people who need money. I don't need it. Maybe Mike did. That one cryptic comment sent the internet into a frenzy. Jake didn't directly accuse Tyson of orchestrating a rigged fight, but the implication was as clear as day. He subtly pointed the finger at Tyson, making people second-guess the legitimacy of the match. It wasn't a complete accusation, but the hint was there. Given Tyson's well-known financial struggles, the internet quickly connected the dots. Jake had ignited a firestorm, setting off speculation that Tyson could have been involved in something shady. This clever manipulation of words was classic Jake, blurring the lines between controversy and spectacle while keeping his audience guessing.
My power.
That is true.
And my jab and my speed and my ability and my footwork to get out of the way of those punches. So then all of a sudden he's throwing at literally air.
The man is a legend, no doubt, but his career has been more up and down than a roller coaster, and his current business endeavors aren't exactly making millions of dollars. Remaining relevant, ashing in, and reminding the world that he is still Nike were the goals of a return fight like this one, not simply showing off his fists.
Or drugs, girl.
Planes, it's stupid shit,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it was
yeah.
fun.
Right. You don't regret any? Do you regret anything?
Yeah, and I didn't pay taxes really.
Jake stated without explicitly stating it that Tyson could have had to lose as part of the arrangement, further twisting the knife to suggest that this was more than just a mutual payoff. Take a moment to process the information. Jake struts away as the person who defeated a boxing legend as the internet debates if the bout was even legitimate. If that claim is true, it implies Tyson risked his legacy for a larger salary and a chance to keep his name in the spotlight.
Where'd most of it go? Because I'm from Connecticut. I know where your old house, 50 Cent's house now, right? Does he still own it?
I have no idea.
But that house, what had movie theaters? What else in it?
But here's the real deal without a doubt. Jake's remark was a well thought out move. Perhaps Mike needed that phrase because it put Tyson front and center and took the focus away from himself. It's timeless. As the views piled in, Jake Paul caused mayhem, let the internet handle the heavy lifting, and then satak. People enjoy a good conspiracy theory, and Jake gave them one at their fingertips.
I made a lot of money, the most money I've made ever. But
What are you going to buy with the money?
probably a ranch.
Therefore, why even make such a claim? Perhaps it was a preemptive move. If Jake had nothing to conceal, perhaps he wanted to avoid being the first to blame. Or perhaps this is peak Jake, and it was all about putting Tyson under the bus, knowing full well that the drama would keep everyone talking for weeks. Whatever is motivating. One thing is certain, Ake never takes a risk without fully understanding how it would turn out.
The way the night went down.
I wish he would have, put up a better fight so then I could have risen more and done.
Yes, there was a lot of buzz. Let's not pretend that this was just about boxing. Tyson is a living legend, and Jake Paul knows how to get people excited. The more you look into it, the more you realize that this fight was more about business branding and bank accounts than it was about competition. And when you put everything together, it's difficult to ignore the strategy that led to the mayhem.
Surviving,
He was.
so
Annoying.
that was the only thing I didn't like.
So annoying when they don't bring the
First, let's talk about Tyson's money. In his peak, the guy made almost $400 million, but in 2003 he filed for bankruptcy. He has since experimented with everything from selling ear-shaped cannabis candy to stand-up tours, but despite all the effort, his most recent endeavors haven't exactly been lucrative. Enter Netflix, Jake Paul, and a $20 million payout for a former athlete who is struggling financially. That kind of money isn't just heartwarming, it's transformative. Not only was Son entering the ring for Peace Sport, but he was also entering a marketing goldmine. But this is where things get interesting. Tyson's fight wasn't just about earning a quick boo buck, it was also about regaining his place in the spotlight. The battle wasn't simply a contest, it was a stage, and the name alone assured global attention.
We signed on here to see you. You lit up Tyson 2.0. Last time we saw you in Vegas, you handed me a bag of your Mike Bites, the edibles. Fantastic. I love it.
Tyson promoted his cannabis brand with it, Tyson 2.0, and hinted to a forthcoming Netflix documentary series. It's not just a fight, it's a full-fledged infomercial set in a boxing contest. I'm not sure what it is if this doesn't shout deliberate maneuver.
No expectations. We have expectations.
Yep.
If I don't get 100 million views, fuck out of here, my dad!
Right.
No, these guys just want a piece of banana.
They want to eat, live.
They're so hungry. They're stubborn.
The rumors that this battle wasn't precisely going on are what we'll discuss next. Although there was no knockout, Jake Paul won by unanimous decision, and there were several instances that had spectators wondering. Tyson's legacy is unbreakable at this point, according to Jake, while some speculate that he may have consented to lose for the money and publicity. Although Didakata's domination won't be eliminated, it did create enough boo-buzzo to keep the money coming in.
A little bow at the end. He bowed.
That's the last thing I remember.
Dude, there was a lot of people online that said that's when you should have hit him, when he was bowing down like that. That's when you
He's gonna hit me. That's why I was like, what the hell?
And Netflix comes next. This was a show designed for streaming, not just another boxing match. There are significant stakes for all parties involved since Netflix allegedly attached performance bonuses depending on engagement and viewing. Jake Paul's internet-breaking antics plus Tyson's reputation ensured that the bout would go viral for Netflix. Tyson and Jake's wrist came off. It was a huge payout and an opportunity to take over the fans' headlines. To put it mildly. They may have been the only ones left questioning whether this was real.
us. We're like, dang, we wanted more. Is there anything about the fight you would have changed based on the experience?
Oh, not at all. Listen, I wouldn't have realized any of it if it went 3-minute rounds. I didn't realize it.
But after the battle, this is where things change. Tyson's remarks during his appearance on Fox Sports Radio were, to put it mildly, perplexing. He said he kind of blanked out when questioned about significant battle moments. When challenged about holding back punches, it gets better than blanking out during a battle you were paid millions to headline. Tyson didn't deny it, he simply sidestepped the topic completely and gave vague, almost contemptuous responses. And he flat out responded, "No, have not." When asked whether he had seen the video. For a man who has always studied his performances, his abrupt forgetfulness seems suspicious. The timing of Mike Tyson's appearance at the event was far from coincidental. He used the platform as an opportunity to promote his cannabis brand in upcoming Netflix projects, making the entire situation feel less like a candid debrief and more like a promotional campaign. The fight, it seemed, was simply a vehicle to push Tyson's business ventures. Fans expected the raw, unfiltered honesty that Tyson, known for his no-holds-barred persona, has delivered in the past. Instead, they were met with vague deflections and a sales pitch. Tyson's silence about the fight itself only added to the mystery. leaving fans wondering whether he was avoiding the topic for behind-the-scenes reasons or if he had simply grown indifferent to it all. His reluctance to engage with the match head-on was telling. One thing was clear: this wasn't your typical boxing match. It appeared to be a carefully orchestrated business venture, benefiting everyone involved except, perhaps, the fans who had hoped for a genuine clash of titans. What was promised as a thrilling contest seemed, in reality, more like a well-oiled marketing machine, leaving spectators feeling more like customers than viewers of an authentic showdown.
Yeah, it was a real fight. What did you think of Jake's power, man, when you were in there?
I don't remember it.
You didn't even remember it. I heard
My body was really sore.